This is the xTool MetalFab laser CNC table, welder, rust remover and handheld cutter. And we have been asked to show a little bit more detail about this machine. So we're going to use it on the Datsun. And this is the Disaster Datsun. Now, this car's had all its subframe all about up to here, made by us, including all the inside. But at the moment, they're both separate. They're not actually joined together. So before we can do that, what we want to do is make some supports for this back end structure. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some feet for this. We're going to have one either side to support this rear chassis, and we're going to have a brace on the top, but we're going to use the MetalFab to do it. Right, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to cut down here so that we can put that on there like that. Once you've refreshed your screen here, you will see your piece of steel. And all we're going to do is we're going to select the line tool and we're just going to cut a line down there. And we've already got 5mm steel chosen from our most common material. Click on apply, and with 5mm steel and just compressor air, we do need to slow the speed down a little bit. So we go from 20 something, I think it was on 24 to 11. And from there, all we've got to do is calibrate a sensor, as in the last video, click on proceed, and it should cut us a nice line. One down, one to go. Now when putting steel in like this, if it's a little bit longer, but you still want to cut over here, it does have a pass through. So what we can do, because you can see here, if I wanted to cut here, it's a bit longer than this. What we can do is we can just slide this through the side and into there. Like that. Job's a good one. Now if you want to see the CNC part of this machine in a little bit more detail, doing a little bit more elaborate stuff, check out our previous video. Right, so 2 plates done. These will fit nicely on there to make feet for the support bars. Now the dross on there, these were taken off really quickly with a grinder, but if you'd have used oxygen and the double layer tip, you would have had virtually no dross, even on these 5mm plates. Now, so they're done, the next thing we have to do is measure up the support bar, and we're going to get the handheld cutter and we're going to cut it off to the right size, ready for welding it on there. Now to convert this into a handheld cutter, all you've got to do is remove this gun and this cable and change the tip, and it's very easy. We'll literally unclip the gun, which is on 2 locators, pop out the cable, unclip this one, take out that stop, that lifts straight out of there, and that's your gun out of the machine. Now xTool have even sent this gun holder for us, literally 6 screws, and we'll pop his gun on there. Now once you've taken the gun out of the machine, you do have to change the tip to the handheld cutting tip. Now you will find it in here, and it's very simple. Right, so I've done a little bit of a test cut on this, and it does go through this 4mm, 5mm tube very easily. You do have to be wary, because when you cut through, whatever's on the other side, it'll try to cut through that as well. It's got our concrete on the floor and nearly got one of my airlines, so you do have to be wary of that. Another thing you have to be wary about is this is a class 4 laser, and it is very powerful. So please read the safety instructions and wear your safety gear as well. These glasses are a definite must, as is a pair of nice thick gloves, which xTool have sent us. So fantastic. Oh, and the other thing, your metal does have to be very clean. With a surface like this, you cannot get a good electrical contact through this tip and there, so you do have to clean your metal up. We'll be cleaning our metal up again and remarking it out so that we can cut through it. Otherwise, this clamped on there isn't going to make a circuit, so it won't enable your laser. Now here, I've not only got the settings wrong, but I've also got the speed at which I'm cutting wrong, as it's cutting through the sidewall at the same time. And I do the same thing, blowing holes on the sidewall all the way around. This will actually dawn on me, and we'll put it right later on in the video. Right, so I've got my settings a little bit wrong. One thing you do have to be wary of is when you're cutting through this side, the laser is going to go through, it's going to hit your metal on the other side and cut that like it has done there. Luckily, the bit that I actually need is fine. It's just the waste bit that actually kind of made a mess of. So what we need to do is turn the laser cutter down a little bit so it doesn't go through it so easy, because it went through it too easy and then went out the other side as well. And cut the other one. Right, so even though I turned it down, it cut through really, really quick, and it actually cut the other side. Luckily, it's all on the waste metal. this were fine. But I found out on the last 2 cuts, I'm just not going fast enough. You have to absolutely whiz through it, and it just cuts through. This is 3mm. It cuts through this 3mm stuff absolutely instantly. If you go a little bit too slow, it's going on this box section, it's going to cut the other side. And again, luckily it was on the waste side, so this bit's okay. So let's get on to see now the rust removal works. Now curiosity got the better of me, and I just wanted to do one more test cut. Right, so much cleaner cut, and I don't know if you saw that. The problem I was having, I was moving too slow. It's so powerful. This is a 1200 watt laser, class 4 laser. And as you can see, I never even cleaned the metal up. So no need cleaning the metal up like this with a grinder. Just cut straight through it. Absolutely fantastic. So being very pleased with myself, I thought I'd try something a little bit more adventurous and try to cut out a circle with a piece of metal that I'd already cut a circle out of. Well, my first attempt didn't go too well, as I didn't keep the cut nice and smooth. But the second attempt was pretty good, to say it was only my second attempt. It even cuts nice circles out, bit of dross there. This one, I rushed it a little bit, panicking, and I'm using a bit of a template that's got all dross on the edge anyway, so it doesn't let me make a smooth circle. But this one, absolutely fantastic. Right, so I didn't need to make those holes or anything. I just wanted to play. But now we're gonna crack on. The legs do have a little bit of rust on it, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna crack out the rust part of this. We're gonna take off this rust and try it on some other things. Right, so all you have to do to change from laser cutting to laser cleaning is you put the welding tip in, but you pull that little bit out and you slot and locate this bit in there. Then you just release that bit and make sure you get that in the locator, clamp it back in. She's ready for laser cleaning. Now the laser welding, cleaning and cutting, handheld cutting, are very, very easy to set up as well. On the top of the panel here, if the CNC machine takes control, it will tell you here and you won't be able to use this. But once you turn the CNC part of it off, you just have standard mode. You do have some other modes down here and some settings, but we're just going to go through standard mode. If you're welding, literally brass, aluminium, galvanized steel, carbon steel, thickness of your material and your diameter of your wire. Cleaning is the same, very, very easy. And cutting that we've just used, we'll just put it on galvanized steel, 3mm, and all you then do is enable your laser. And again, we're going on to cleaning now. So we're going to click clean. It's going to be galvanized. We're going to stick it on carbon steel, and the cleaning width, we're going to give it 10mm. And then once we've changed the tip, all we do is enable the laser. Right, we found some tricks to make it fire without direct contact. But the proper way to use it is with the Max Clean accessory, included with every MetalFab, which solves this issue. So, don't try this at home. And as you can see, it does an absolute cracking job. Now what we're going to do is crack on with these supports for the disaster Datsun. We're going to weld the feet on the bottom. So we're going to set the MetalFab up to be a welder. Now it does take a little bit of setting up, but once you set it up, it can almost stay like that, and you just have to then plug it in. Right, so the main parts to the welding side is the power unit, which is basically the power unit for everything. You've got your spool holder, so that needs connecting. We've got to take off this compressor gas because that is just supplied by the compressor and the air cleaner there. And we're going to put a welding gas in there. And the only other thing we've got to do is change this tip. Right, so I think we need to do maybe a couple of test welds. We'll use these bits of scrap, see how we go. Right, so genuinely, because that was my first weld and only weld on this machine, and it was that long and it was successful, I'm gonna try and weld that on there. After me messing about for 10 minutes, I literally found I'd switched this switch off at the back, which is my wire feed. So I'd turned it to off. So I was getting no, so I was actually trying, that welder did, I actually welded the metal to the metal, there was no wire in there. So now it's got wire in it. It don't actually too bad, it looks a tiny weld. Right, so that's where I messed up. That's where I turned the feed on, and as you can see, that's actually a very small weld. Let's do the other side. I think you've got to say, they're good welds. Now I have done a little bit of laser welding before, but right off the bat, with me not messing around with settings, the standard settings, that is fantastic. Let's get those legs welded on. Bear in mind, these are just legs, it's just a prop that's going to be disposed of, so we don't have to have any kind of perfection here. The only bit of perfection we need is a length when we chop and weld the tops on. Now the nice thing about this welding is you don't have to perfect your speed. The actual wire pushes you along. Well, that's the xTool MetalFab laser CNC welder, cutter and rust remover. Fantastic and so easy to use once you set it up. Now that we've set the welder up, all we have to do is change the tip, swap a cable down at the bottom and put it back in the machine, and it's a CNC again. Absolutely fantastic, very easy to use, and the standard settings are absolutely superb. I will play around with them, make them a little bit better, make my welds a little bit neater, things like that. Don't forget to check the link in our description below if you want a little bit more information about this MetalFab, because it is a fantastic machine. If you've enjoyed the video, leave us a like and smash that subscribe button. Until then, we will see you in the next one.